spirited debate was held in Michigan last night in one of the country's most watched Senate primaries. Congresswoman Haley Stevens and former Wayne County Health Director Abdul launched attacks on one another and offered vastly different visions for governing.
My head is down doing the work for the people of Michigan who need the work to be done. We do not need a celebrity senator. We need a workhorse.
We also don't need politicians bought off by corporations. In this race, you've probably seen ad after ad after ad. Not one of those ads was brought to you by the Congresswoman's campaign. All of them brought to you by corporate PACs and APAC, trying to buy a politician who's going to do their bidding instead of yours.
Nikole Killion was in Grand Rapids, Michigan last night for the debate. She joins us now with the scoop. Nikole, good morning. We heard a clip there from each of the candidates, but what were their overall messages and how was it received?
Yeah, well, I think that clip that you played really kind of encapsulated the main arguments from both candidates. Look, Haley Stevens is currently serving in Congress. As you mentioned, Dr. Abdul is a former health official in the Detroit area. And so this was really about casting who is ready for the job and most electable in November. Of course, both candidates tried to make that argument, but of course, Stevens suggested that El Sayed was just someone who runs to the camera. And as you heard her there say, you know, we don't need a celebrity senator, we need a show horse. And so that was really a key part of her message last night, whereas El Sayed tried to portray Stevens as this Washington insider, someone who takes corporate money, whereas he doesn't. So time and again, you know, those were kind of the jabs that they took against each other, while at the same time sharing some views on issues like affordability and the importance of childcare.
Now, we know that Michigan has a large Arab population in places like Dearborn. U.S. support of Israel has become a critical issue in the race there. How did that play out last night?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, look, this was also a key part of this debate as well, particularly this issue around the pro-Israel group AIPAC, which has spent quite a bit of money in this race. And so El Sayed pointed time and again to the money that that group has spent, for instance, in his view, to Stevens or in support of Stevens, whereas she tried to shoot back, suggesting that Republicans may be trying to prop up El Sayed's campaign. That being said, there were pretty stark differences in their views about U.S. policy towards Israel. Take a listen.
We need long-term peace. Donald Trump has failed us. The Prime Minister of Israel has failed in that regard. And he was just coming after me on this today. Look, I am unafraid, Michigan. You are my North Star, and no illegal wars, no unilateral wars at our expense.
If Congresswoman Stevens makes it or Mike Rogers wins, either way, Israel will win. AIPAC is perfectly fine with either of my two opponents because they know that they will have a comfortable, reliable vote in the U.S. Senate.
Now, Haley Stevens responded saying that no one has bought her vote, that she stands with the people of Michigan. But again, this is certainly a dividing issue between these two candidates. I would also point out very briefly, Errol, that this was the first debate that took place since State Senator Mallory McMorrow dropped out. And so whereas El Sayed is more progressive and Stevens is more moderate, McMorrow was kind of in the middle of both of them. So really, this debate last night was also an attempt to try to move her supporters in the run-up to this August 4th primary.
A really interesting battle there in Michigan. Nikole Killion, thank you.